Hey guys, welcome back to Manifest with Miriam. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how I actually purchased my dream apartment at the age of 23, the steps I took to get here, and what the process actually was. If you guys haven't seen part 1 yet, please do go and check that out. It's already posted. That video is essentially all about how I manifested my dream apartment and how I manifested actually buying it, the manifestation side of things. But this video is going to be a lot more action focused. As I mentioned in part 1, you can't manifest anything without taking the reasonable actionable steps towards it. So taking action is a very important part of manifestation. So that's why in today's video, as promised, I am going to be breaking down every single thing that I did and what you need to do if you're looking to purchase a property. Really beautiful candle, side note here, that I got from Kmart, and it smells unreal. Roses bouquet with rose and amber scented candle. I absolutely love this. This was literally like $5. And my birth month scent is actually a rose, so we love that. As always, if you see me looking down, I have a list of things that I want to talk about, so let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do when you're looking at purchasing a property is find out what you actually want. Figure out what you actually want. Do you want a unit? Do you want a house? Do you want a townhouse? Do you want to be close to the city? Do you want to be in the outskirts? Figure out what you actually want before you commit to something, before you start looking, because jumping online to realestate.com and property websites can be very overwhelming if you don't know what you want. And trust me, I've been there. If you're just looking and browsing online, it can be overwhelming at times, because if you're just looking and you don't know, it's like, what do I actually want? So figure that out first. What do you actually want? And then from there, you can start to have a look online. So start to jump on realestate.com, domain.com, depending on where you are in the world, there'll be a different website with property listings. And once you jump online, you can start to have a look at properties that you might potentially be interested in. If you scroll down, you'll see that they will have some home open times. Start saving these properties that you're interested in and schedule in a time to go view it. They'll usually have a home open on the weekends where you can just walk in and go view it yourself. You don't actually need to make an appointment with the agent. So that was really handy at the start for me, because I was quite nervous to be going to these home opens and I was really scared to go alone, but I just did anyway. But it's easier when it's just open to everyone and you don't actually have to make an appointment with the agent. So start to go have a look at some listings, start viewing some properties. This will put you in the position where you are mentally preparing yourself, subconsciously or mentally preparing yourself to purchase a property, because you are going and viewing these properties, and as you're walking through them, think to yourself, okay, how would I feel if I lived here? Pretend that you live there and just step into that character, that player of I live here, and yeah, just really tap into that energy of walking through this property, acting as if you're going to buy it. So really tap into that energy of I'm going to buy this, I'm a homeowner. Live as you're walking through these properties. Another thing you want to do when you are viewing these properties is build a rapport with your real estate agent or with the agent at the property listing. It's important to practice chatting with these real estate agents, because there will be a time when you need to make an offer on a property, and then building rapport with them and having these conversations about the listing is gonna train your brain and train your subconscious to get more comfortable with purchasing property talk. So start to build rapport with these agents, start to practice chatting to them, start to learn the terminology that homeowners or people looking to purchase homes use, so that you can become comfortable and become familiar with it, and in due time start to use that language. The more home opens you go to, the more comfortable you will be around the real estate world and agents and purchasing properties and other buyers and putting in offers and all of that type of stuff. So the more home opens you go to, the better. because you're really training your brain to get comfortable with the idea of you potentially owning a home, and you just want to get comfortable. So that's that. Once you are 100% certain on exactly what you want and what area you want to be in, and you've narrowed it down to a few that you are interested in, start to maybe build a little bit of a portfolio for the properties, for those properties that you are interested in. And then you can get in touch with a mortgage broker. Now, a mortgage broker is someone who helps you purchase a property. You hire them as your they're a broker, and they receive some sort of commission off of your property listing, your property purchase price. So you don't have to pay them directly, but once you purchase your property, the bank will then pay them out a commission if you get that property that you're after. So finding a mortgage broker, make sure you do your research on this. Literally just type up mortgage brokers, lenders online. And when you find one that you're comfortable with, a lot of them will do like a little interview online. A lot of them will have like a free chat that you can then get to know them a little bit better, tell them exactly what you're looking for with that portfolio of properties that you've found, and you've narrowed down to what you actually want, that little group. You're going to send that to them, and then that way they can help you find other similar properties in that caliber. And from then on, they'll just simply guide you through the rest of the process. So from there, you want to get approval for a home loan. Unless you've got $1 million in the bank, you will need to get a home loan. Or mortgage broker will help you get a loan from your chosen bank, whatever the best rates are. There will be 2 types of home loans you can get. One of them is variable and one of them is fixed. A variable home loan means the rate at which you're paying interest is subject to change. For example, if you are paying 5% interest on a home and the interest rates jump down, you will then be paying less interest. So that's variable. Your interest rate can change throughout the course of your home loan period. So your home loan term or period can be anywhere from 10 years to 30 years. The standard is a 30-year home loan, which essentially means you've got 30 years to pay off your loan. For example, you get a $700,000 loan from the bank. Your home loan term, 30 years at a variable rate, meaning your interest rate, 5% or 6%, can jump up or down depending on where the market is. The second home loan option you can get is fixed. The fixed rate means your interest rate will not move. For example, if you sign on for a home loan of $700,000 at a rate of 5% interest, your rate will remain that way for the period of time that you've signed on to that home loan for. For example, 30-year home loan at 5% interest, fixed rate, your interest will not change. So your interest is what you need to pay the bank back on top of what you're already paying them back on your home loan. So the bank can't just loan you $700,000. They will require you to pay that back in your home loan term, as well as extra. Because they are loaning you that money and you're not paying it back right away, you will need to pay extra. So that is your interest. Pretty much any loan that you get, you will have to pay an interest on top of what you're already paying them back on top of the actual loan itself. I hope that makes sense. Context, I'm on a variable home loan rate, which means my rate has jumped up, my rate has jumped down, my monthly repayments have changed month to month. I'm not too phased about that. It works for me, but you just need to find out what works best for you and maybe do some research on where the market is headed as well in the next couple of years or the next 10 to 20 years. Once you are comfortable and happy with a bank and the rate and the term and the interest, then you will need to get pre-approval. So once your mortgage broker has talked you through all of that, you'll need to get pre-approval. And once pre-approval is given by the bank, a pre-approval means that you can start putting in offers for houses and for properties. So once you have your pre-approval, which is just the approval for the loan from the bank before they approve the big loan, pre-approval means, okay, they've done all the checks, everything's looking in order, and that just means you can start putting in offers. So then once the pre-approval is done, then you can start putting in offers, and yeah, your mortgage broker will talk you through all of this. It's very smart to get a mortgage broker. I would highly recommend getting a mortgage broker. Your mortgage broker will talk you through all of this, and yeah, once you put in an offer, you put in an offer to the agent, the real estate agent of the property. You can put it in, always put your offer in writing, because sometimes verbally things can get misconstrued, and you want to avoid anything like that happening, especially when you're putting a deposit down. For example, $700,000 house, you'll need to put a 10% deposit down, which is $70,000. You just don't want anything to get misconstrued, basically, when you're talking about that amount of money. I think that's everything. I think that's all of the little processes. Of course, always check your down payment. How much do you need to put down for the house? In Australia, it is a 10% deposit, but you can apply for the first home buyers, which is a 5%, meaning $700,000 property, you put down $70K. $700,000 property with a 5%, you put down approximately $35K. So check what down payments are available. You could get a student concession one, you could get a first home buyers one, you could get a family one. Like, there's a lot of different government schemes available out there, so make sure you check, because you could get a really good benefit, especially as a first home buyer. So definitely check that out. But yeah, that is pretty much everything that I remember that I could think of from when I purchased my property. I cannot wait to do it all again in due time. And if you guys want any more information on this, please do let me know. A little bit of a quicker video today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.